All right, it looks like we could be on the precipice of the largest sporting contract in the history of the world being handed out, and it's going to none other than Lionel Messi, the arguable greatest of all time, of course in talks to be signed by who else than the Saudis. The Saudis have been dropping mad cash in the sporting world, and allegedly a $400 million a year deal to bring over the Argentinian superstar to the Saudi Pro League. This is massive news, insane numbers. It seems like his time in Europe is coming to an end, and this would pair him up once again with his longtime rival, Ronaldo, going head to head, facing off. I'm going to go through, break down everything going on with the story, give you my 2 cents. But if you could first drop a quick like on this video, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. New videos every single weekday. But let's get into it. All right, so the Saudi Arabia has been making some big splashes in the worlds of sports. They are all about using that oil money, dropping massive contracts all over the place, trying to bring the sports world and make them the center of attention. And now they have may land their biggest prize yet. Lionel Messi, apparently fed up with Paris Saint-Germain, his current club. He wants out, and it looks like Saudi Arabia is the destination. They already grabbed big headlines signing his longtime rival, Cristiano Ronaldo, this past December to allegedly $160 million a year deal. Plus that with endorsements, so around $200 million it ended up with per year. They brought him over to club Al-Nassar. It's been a great success. They've seen massive jumps in viewerships and attendance, and now they want to land the biggest prize of all, the newly acclaimed GOAT, Lionel Messi, fresh off his World Cup win in Qatar, which is in the Middle East, big time this past winter. They want to bring him over for a record $400 million per year. That's an insane amount of money. That's unfathomable. Like 3 years there, he's already made $1 billion. And I don't know what the tax law is like over there, but I can imagine it's pretty friendly for a guy like this. So he's going to be seeing a lot of that money, I would bet to say. And honestly, this makes a ton of sense in the world. The relationship has been strained with Paris Saint-Germain after spending 17 years with Barcelona, his childhood club, his club that he grew up with, became one of the greatest of all times with, and then it kind of fell apart due to some cap rules, this, that, and the other. He was forced to leave the club, sign with Paris Saint-Germain, the biggest club in France, perennial powerhouse, but it's been a rocky relationship this past 2 years. Things haven't really worked out. There's been disagreements. They haven't seen success in the Champions League, which is your mark of measure when you're playing in Europe. How good are you in the Champions League? Easy to win the French League. They always do win the French League. Not a lot of other great competition there, but it's how they do in the Champions League. And they've fallen flat on their face as one of the most premier clubs in international soccer. So now it looks like Messi and their relationship is done. He's had a 12-month extension sitting on the table since January, and he has not signed that extension, and it doesn't look like he's going to sign that extension. His dad is now reportedly talking with the Saudi Arabian administration, ministry, sports, government, whoever's in charge over there to get this contract done, and we could see him shipped over at the end of the season when his contract expires in June. And the Saudi Pro League runs from August to May, so it's a very normal cycle. That's what the European clubs run, so it won't interfere with any of his other activities, i.e. for club and country, that he might also be doing. This is a huge move, and it's actually really funny because they're going to get to pick where he goes, and the most likely destination, the most successful Saudi Arabian club, Al-Halil, that's the biggest rival of Al-Nassar, where Cristiano Ronaldo is playing, so it would be head-to-head, big-time rivalry, back at it again. And Messi's been very familiar with the Saudis, had lots of relationships when they're stars in a lot of commercials in the Middle East, is a big-time promoter of the game. And the Saudis are trying to land him to help push and get the 2030 World Cup. It's on the table. The World Cup in Qatar was a pretty big success. I know there was a lot of questions, issues, but everything that everyone was there said it was a very good time. It was a very well put on event, and it was a corrupt event possibly when they got the bid originally, but it turned out well. It was a great show. Besides having to be played in the winter, it was a really good time. So that could really help the Saudis get their bid for the 2030 World Cup. And who better than Lionel Messi? He's at the peak of his fame right now, coming off of that World Cup. It's kind of crazy to say he's towards the back end of his career, but still playing at an elite level as good as he is. And this is huge, huge news. And what are we turning to? It seems like the Saudis are buying all the sports. It's eventually going to make its way into the United States. I would bet they're going to start buying professional sport teams over here. They're trying to make a splash. They dive into everything. Now, boxing, UFC, F1, they're kind of all over the place right now. And the next big market, I think, would be North American sports. The question is, would North American owners allow that kind of money to be funneled into their leagues? Maybe, maybe not. There's some loose regulations in soccer, but obviously not really. You can kind of pay whatever you want, kind of do whatever you want. There's very limited rule structures in place. And when you got the kind of cash the Saudis have, they're going to flash it. So that might be the next big hurdle for them to overcome. And honestly, I don't hate the idea of this. Screw it. If you got money, spend the damn money. Spend it on what you want to spend it on. It's good for the sports. It can only help the game grow. I mean, it's really, really important to have all this kind of cash flow to try and generate viewers, generate other sorts of interest, improve the game and the product that we can see on the field. So I'm all about it, but this deal is incoming fast, and PSG has made it known to Messi this is not okay, suspending him for 2 weeks after an alleged illegal trip to Saudi Arabia. They know this deal is coming. They are okay with burning this bridge with him. They aren't happy about it, which I think is a dumb move, man. This is the kind of guy you want to have in your corner. Now you're going to just tank the relationship because it isn't going as well as you thought it would. Typical PSG, the typical French. What else can I say for that? But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is this a good move to have Messi move over to the Saudis? Is it a problem they are spending all this cash in the sporting world, or is it good for the different types of sports and good for sports as a whole? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Again, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share this video with your friends, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.